Couple of things to update you on. First of all, I got new glasses. They look very similar to the old glasses, so maybe you didn't even notice, but it looks a lot different for me, at least from this side of the glass. Another thing to update you on, I found The Sims Complete Original Soundtrack, 8.5 hours long. I was a huge fan of The Sims growing up. I never had the original Sims myself. I had to go to my friend's house to play it on her computer. And oh my God, I became so obsessed with The Sims. I wanted to go over to her house just so I could play The Sims. And I think she would get bored. You know how The Sims is. If you've played it before, you spend hours building out a house, designing a house. Imagine doing that on a really slow PC and then having a friend there who's like wanting to hang out with you. And you're just like, yeah, I need to design my house right now. I was totally using her for her computer and for The Sims. I could feel the emotions, like the happiness that I felt when I was playing The Sims. I can feel that happiness come through when I listen to this music. That is the power of video game soundtracks. Highly recommend if you're into video games. Get your favorite video game soundtrack. Whenever you want to feel happiness, just put it in the background and listen to it. Here's what's going on today and tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we're leaving. We're going to Alaska, and by we I mean me and my partner, my boyfriend, my husband. He's not my boyfriend anymore. He's my husband now, but we're going to Alaska. At some point, I'm gonna need to pack. The whole point of the trip is to see the Northern Lights. It's been on my bucket list to see the Northern Lights for a long time. Obviously, Northern Lights is a bucket list item for sure, for probably lots of people. Hopefully we'll get to see it. It's gonna depend on the weather and how cloudy it is. The weather forecast shows that it's gonna be cloudy every single day that we're there, unfortunately. Hopefully the clouds will part at some point and we'll be able to see the Northern Lights. It's snowing right now. Our flight landed late last night, or this morning after midnight. So we checked into a hotel right next to the airport. And then this morning we got up, had the complimentary breakfast, which was fabulous, and got our rental car, and now we're driving to Chena Hot Springs, which is about an hour and a half away from Fairbanks, where we flew in. We're only staying at this place, the Chena Hot Springs, for one night because it didn't have great reviews, and it's kind of out here in the middle of nowhere, and also it was very pricey for what you get. But we did want to experience the hot springs. They have natural hot springs. So we're gonna hang out there tonight and then come back towards the Fairbanks area tomorrow.
I'm a shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light.
Hey everyone, we are walking around a lake on this little trail, this little loop. That's a lake. Frozen lake. We haven't seen the Northern Lights yet. Turns out you have to stay awake at night to see the Northern Lights. And I've been pretty tired. We're gonna stay up all night tonight. We're gonna go to sleep around like 6 p.m. That's the plan. And get a few hours of sleep, and then we're gonna wake up and just be up for the rest of the night. And hopefully we'll see the northern lights. Whoa, I see. Chris thought these were acorns. So he touched one, and then he smelled his hand, and it smelled like poop. Look at these big old tracks. Dude, this is...
No, I gotta get out of here.
This is Bigfoot tracks for sure.
Dude, are you kidding me?
I think they're snowshoes. We are about to head to our third accommodation already, and it's only been 2 days. We're killing time right now, waiting for check-in time. We can't check in until 4 p.m.
Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call. Don't stop, 'cause I'm having a good time.
What time is it? 3:24 a.m. and the northern lights are happening. It's kind of random. It seems this place that we're at has cameras that are pointing up at the sky, and so I was able to kind of watch it on my phone. I slept until 3. Chris is up at midnight, and he was watching cameras until 3, from midnight until 3. We're gonna go outside. We just got all our snow gear on, and hopefully get some good footage. We came back inside because we got too cold. It seems like the lights are very hit or miss. I thought that they would just always be there, and as long as there wasn't cloud cover, we would be able to see them, but turns out that's not the case. Turns out it's random, and it happens only for like a few minutes at a time, so it's really hard to see them. Hopefully we'll be able to see them tomorrow, but it's supposed to start snowing again. Snow means clouds, means no chance of seeing the lights. We don't have that much time left, and there's snow in the forecast. It's unfortunate. I don't know if we'll be able to see the lights. The sky is really pretty. We don't get to see the stars in LA, so anytime we can see a beautiful display of the stars, it's nice. Confirmed, Chris touched moose poop earlier. We were wondering what kind of animal would have made those droppings, and pretty sure it was moose. It's moose droppings. I'm sorry about this glare in my glasses. There's nothing I can do about it. So today we're visiting the Museum of the North, which is located at the University of Alaska. It's up on this big hill overlooking the whole city. It's really pretty up here. There's so many dogs here. Look at all these freaking dogs. The throne of game. Look at the little wolf. They're so cute.
Solar wind hits the daylight side of the Earth, it travels around the Earth, much like a rock in a river will deflect water.
Hey guys, tonight it's supposed to be cloudy and perhaps it might snow again. Right now it doesn't look too cloudy. I mean, it's definitely cloudy, but there's some breaks in the clouds. We're thinking, because last night there wasn't a lot of activity. We've since learned there's different levels of magnetic activity, I guess, or I don't know, solar activity, I'm not sure. There's levels to it, and she said at least a level 3 you'll be able to see it, but last night was a level 2. So 2 things need to happen. You need to have clear skies, and then you need to have the right level of whatever it is, magnetic, solar, electromagnetic, I don't know what it is, activity, at least a level 3 or above. She also said you gotta be on the lookout all night long. I woke up today at 3 a.m. and I thought I would have enough time. She was like, no, you gotta start watching the cameras at 11 p.m. and just stay on it the whole night, pretty much. So it's gonna be a late night. Last night, when we thought we saw a little splash of light on the live cam, we went outside and felt like our view was blocked a little by the trees surrounding us and by the house itself. Then we were just thinking, because we were at this museum at the U of A, which is on the top of a hill in the center of town. It's kind of like, it reminds me of the College of Winterhold, if you're a Skyrim fan. It looks very cool. It's very cool. But it's at the top, and there's nothing really blocking its view from the sky. It's just like all sky. We might try to go back there tonight when it gets dark and just like hang out there, but we'll see. Keep you posted. I just mentioned Skyrim in my last little clip. What in the world are the odds that as soon as I put the camera away, a song came up on the radio? Okay, it's not the radio, it's a video game playlist. It's just a random video game playlist. Has a bunch of different video games. And the song that came up is called Aurora. And it's from the movie, the video game Skyrim. It's from Skyrim, and it's called Aurora. What? That must be a good sign, right? It's gotta be. We're gonna see the aurora tonight, you guys. Okay, we're back in our cozy little Airbnb chalet. Verbo, not Airbnb. We went to the grocery store and check out what we got. We got Moose Tracks ice cream. Denali Extreme Maximum Fudge Moose Tracks. Had to do it. Did you guys see there was a picture, I think, or a painting of moose droppings in the museum that we were at earlier in the art gallery. We've had a lot of run-ins with moose tracks / moose droppings since we've been here. So earlier when we were at the museum, there were exhibits talking about the Klondike Gold Rush and the Yukon Trail and all that, and it reminded me of this game that I used to play called the Yukon Trail, which is very similar to the Oregon Trail, but I never played Oregon Trail. I only played the Yukon Trail because I always had to be a little bit different. So it got us thinking, let's see if we can play this game. And turns out, of course, there's a version of it you can play for free on the internet. You just have to Google it and it comes up, and this is exactly how I remember it. I remember this lady was the safe one to go with, and this guy is kind of a little dodgy, a little risky.
Howdy, stranger. You'll be needing a ticket to board any of those ships to Alaska. If I were you, I'd book first-class passage to Dai.
Dai. Oh my god. I can't believe this game is about Alaska. I never realized it as I was playing. I didn't know what states were. I was too young, I think. So it's just, it's kind of fun to play this while we're here in Alaska. Look at her, she's so cute.
I see that you have not yet chosen a partner. You would make a wise decision by choosing me.
Okay, great.
Okay.
2 tickets to Dai, please.
Which ship would you like?
Here we go. This is us. On our boat, the Alliance. Uh-oh, storm.
Oh, shit.
I remember this place well. Look at this man. He just pulled out a gold nugget.
Harry! You look like you're headed
Per
for
house
Klondike.
back there?
I just came from there.
Oh!
Your leg looks really injured.
Shoot.
You must stop and take care of it.
I freaking fell. We struck gold. Wow. Good morning, everyone. We did not see the Northern Lights last night. but we did stay up. I mean, we had split shifts. I took the second shift from like 2:30 on, and then Chris was up until 2:30. It's really coming down right now. There were lots of moments of cloudless sky, but there was no activity. There was no aurora activity, unfortunately. I think we just came at a really unlucky time. I was looking at the website that shows the aurora activity. During the week that we're here, it's pretty low. Right before we came, the activity levels were like way high. And then as soon as we leave, it goes up again. So if we had just came a few days earlier, we would have probably seen the lights. We could try again tonight. The levels of the like aurora activity still not that great, but we'll give it a shot. Because why not? What else are we gonna do? Yesterday we had gone to the grocery store, got some blueberry bagels. So I'm gonna make a blueberry bagel with some cream cheese for breakfast, and have some coffee, and just probably sit here at the window and watch the snow outside. What a treat. I've lived in LA my entire life. So imagine living 33 years in the same climate, the same sunny weather, pretty much the entire year for 33 years. It gets boring. The snow is so pretty. I wish we lived somewhere where it snows. Somewhere where it snows a little more than it does in LA. I think would be nice. Maybe someday. So it's really cold today. It says that it's only 38 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels a lot colder because there's a wind, like a chilly wind, a wind chill, if you will. Originally the plan was to go hiking today, and I think we're not gonna go hiking because I'm a little too chilly. But maybe tomorrow. We just finished eating some Thai food, some delicious Thai food. We went into a little art shop, got some art prints. Everything is pretty much closed today because it's Easter. So we're parked right now at this place we're gonna go check out and see if it's open. It's like a cultural center, so I guess they have wildlife. Maybe they have art, I'm not sure. That's the pipeline. It goes all the way from the north of Alaska all the way to the south. And we are right here, right in the middle. Let's go take a closer look. I wasn't too interested in seeing this pipeline because I'm not an oil fanatic. We were just at that little cultural center, and I watched a little film on how they made this and what a spectacular feat it was, and I was impressed, so we came to check it out. I changed my mind about it. It's pretty cool. It's giant. We've been listening to video game soundtracks this entire trip pretty much, and it feels really fitting because I feel like we're in our own video game here in Alaska. We're on our own little like adventure. One of the soundtracks, the Skyrim soundtrack, it takes place in a frozen, like snowy tundra of a place, basically like Alaska. So a lot of the sounds and the music from that soundtrack just sound fitting here. It feels like it is what should be playing as we drive through these frozen landscapes. We're leaving this place today, going back to the first hotel that we were at, that we stayed at the night that our flight arrived. It's right next to the airport. Didn't see the Northern Lights last night. The majority of the last couple days were just dedicated to seeing the lights. It was cloudy all night, pretty much. We didn't get to do a lot of Alaskan things because I made the mistake of not booking any tours or anything before we got here. Like dog sledding, ice fishing. I just assumed that it was going to be all open and easy to reserve. And then we get here and everything's booked up. I was super dumb on my part. Chris is still sleeping, so I hope I'm not keeping him up by talking. I was telling Chris, even though like we didn't see the Northern Lights, that means that just ensures a future trip for us to see them somewhere else. We were talking about maybe going to one of the Nordic countries like Finland or Sweden or something. It's still a bucket list item. And we still had an amazing time. So we just got everything packed up and cleaned up. As we were putting all of our luggage in the car, we saw the host and he was chatting with us and gave us hope that maybe we'll see the lights tonight, because he said it's supposed to be a beautiful night tonight. The skies are clear right now. So last night it was cloudy and snowy the entire time. Chris stayed up all night watching the cameras. That was great. I love this place so much. I love that they had those cameras set up because we could just like watch the cameras from inside the car. I mean, from inside the house. He was suggesting that we go up to this one spot he told us about, and he said to just post up there in the car and just stay there all night, and hopefully we'll be able to see the Northern Lights there. So we might do that tonight, because what else do we have to lose? Oh, it's beautiful up here. Snow is so white because it's fresh. It's just snowed last night. We just went to a little coffee shop that had delicious little desserts. I got a lemon pudding cream puff and Chris got an eclair. Both were delicious. So now we're heading to go on a little hike because it's beautiful out today. It's nice and sunny and warm. We were just passing through a city called the North Pole. We were driving down a street called Mistletoe Drive, and it reminded me of Candy Cane Lane. I think we have to park in here. It looks like this is blocked. And I was just saying that this drive that we were on, it felt like we were in the sugar plum forest. Like, it's so pretty. So quiet here. When we stop moving, you can't hear anything. It's so quiet. All you could hear is the crunch of our footsteps on the snow. It's so peaceful. The sky is so blue. I think the trip was worth it. I mean, just these hikes in the snowy forest are making it worth it. This is the Chino River. Ice is starting to melt right there. Can you hear it? Let's keep going.
And then I jumped down, and that's why those are so much bigger.
Bear tracks. We found bear tracks. Those over there. And then they cross that way. And then they're over here. More bear tracks. Going that way. And pretty sure that's bear poop. We made it. We didn't get mauled by bears. That was a nice hike. We're about to, I think, head back to our first hotel that's right next to the airport. Check in for the last night here. And then we'll figure out what we're gonna do tonight. Okay, so it's currently 10:13 p.m. Alaska time, and we are setting out to the point where our host recommended that we just park our car and watch the sky and hope to see the northern lights. So that's where we're going right now. It's pretty cloudy, but there are some breaks in the clouds.
These are the icy roads.
These roads are icy. We're hoping a deer doesn't come shooting across. Here we are. We're parked at the top of Esther Dome, is what it's called. It was a super icy ride uphill. It was a little nerve-wracking to get up here, but we made it. I think going back down is going to be pretty scary because the roads are kind of icy. But yeah, it's really bright with this light on. But if I turn this light off, it is super black. Super dark. That is not the northern lights that you see. Those are just clouds, I think, but they look so bright on the camera. So we're just gonna sit here and wait. Our flight leaves at 7 a.m. and so it starts boarding at 6:20. So we have to leave our hotel by like 5 in the morning. And then we have to get up in time to, get ready and pack and stuff. It's 4, I guess, probably 4. We're gonna just, give it our best shot. We're calling it. We didn't see the northern lights. It's currently 12:47 a.m. We're at that spot, Esther Dome, kind of at the top of a mountain for a bit. And then it started to get kind of foggy, and we knew the road was really icy, so we didn't want to get caught up there. So we drove back down, and we actually came to the University of Alaska, where we came the other day to see the Museum of the North, because it's up on a hill overlooking the city. So we've been sitting in the parking lot here for a couple hours, and no luck, unfortunately. The clouds rolled in like an hour ago, and they didn't blow away. We failed. I'm just kidding. It wasn't a failure. We had a great time, and we'll just have to try again another time to see the northern lights. Maybe in Finland. Alright, we're back in LA. Pro tip for anyone who's traveling to LA, consider flying into the Burbank airport, because instead of LAX, the Burbank airport is so small, so tiny, so much quicker to get through. And it's really close to Universal Studios, which we decided, instead of driving in an hour and a half of traffic to get back home, we're gonna go to Universal Studios. It's just around the corner. And we're just gonna kill time there until traffic dies down, and then we're gonna go home. I have a SoCal resident annual pass to Universal Studios, and Chris has been wanting to get one, so he's gonna get one. We had a great time. We had a fun winter trip in spring, and we didn't see the northern lights, and that's okay. I feel like this was a lesson for myself. For this trip, I had the big goal of seeing the northern lights, and that's something that's out of our control. We tried our best, We tried our best. We stayed up all night, we watched the cameras. Last night, this morning, we were up, sitting in a parking lot. It was the coldest it's ever been. not ever. It was the coldest it had been on our entire trip, and we were still sitting in that car watching the sky, waiting. And I think I wanted it too bad. We did all we could do to be able to see it, and it's really not something that we can control. So